uh, a lot of users say that the synchronization times are a bit long on the wallet. It often has
Yeah.
that NASA kind of very technical feel. Is there any future updates to make it a little bit more user-friendly, perhaps reduce the
Yeah.
synchronization time? And
Yeah,
tell us
I think
about
I'll
the wallet. Yeah.
I think I'll be able to cut it in half, if not more, right now. A lot of that's just the data throughput. It's pretty low. And this is just the unfortunate part of decentralized maximalism. Most mobile wallets use a proxy, right? So think of it as that you have the blockchain and then you have a server that interprets the blockchain data and then you're connecting to that server. And so you sign it offline like a typical Bitcoin wallet. So it's non-custodial, but still, if that proxy goes down, it goes down. So we actually, as far as I'm aware, the first ones that have been able to actually compile a node onto your phone and it's running a full-fledged node. It has a full security of it. It's trustless too. So that means like you don't have to believe anything. You're verifying it all cryptographically with the Merkle proofs and the block headers. But you do need the block headers. So right now it has block headers and some extra metadata like chain state data that I'm just sending through. But technically that is like relying on the trust of that data to be correct as well, right? Because it should be calculated into the chain. So that's a next step that I'm actually working on right now is cutting that. I think I'll be able to cut it by a factor of two. And then the new lower level database engine that I've been developing since about I've been working on the lower level database since about 21 I got is totally constant time. It doesn't slow down as more data gets added to it. So that should add a lot more as well because it will start slowing down the sync time just a little bit because of all the extra data that it has to add into the database. So between the two of those, I think we can cut it down significantly. And I mean, I've been considering too packaging it with the wallet install. So you download it all because that is faster than synchronizing if we could package it in with the mobile wallet or even hard coding it. I don't know how bad that would get in the binary, but I could hard code the block headers, which I've considered that, right, as another way to overcome that limitation. But that is just the nature of if you want it to be trustless, you have to have the data to compare all of the data you're getting. Like I download my SIG chain, I need to verify that transaction actually happened on the chain. But it's really cool that we've been able to do it. We actually have full smart contract processing. Like it's not emulating any of it. It's processing all of the conditional contracts completely on chain without needing the entire global chain state, which I think Ethereum has that on like their 2030 list or 2040 probably for them, like to actually be able to have a smart contract processing on a node that's a light client. So, it's going to be a little bit extra work like it has been even to get it to compile onto a phone and run with React Native. But yeah, long story short, I think I should be able to cut it in half, if not even more. Ideally, to have a bootstrap where the latest release has all of those block headers and hashes in them, or maybe even just the Merkle roots and the block hashes, because that I might even be able to just do Merkle roots and block hash. That
Is
might
that
save a
like
lot. And then
is
just
that like
compile.
mm, is that like a Tritium? Is that similar to your Tritium update or different? Tritium.
The next update plus plus.
I think
Tritium was a whole new architecture.
sure. Maybe just like one
Yeah, it
sentence
was
on Tritium.
like the
Yeah.
2019 Tritium. Yeah. Tritium was the unleashing of a completely new blockchain architecture. So we actually had to like upgrade the entire blockchain block data and all that header data, which made it possible to run the light client. And then Tritium plus plus ended up being a huge overhaul, which is still ongoing, but I think if you look at like the code changes over the last like few years, it's pretty much the whole code base has been like almost rebuilt or added to like the entire API. I had to totally just revamp, but it's improved in speed and security substantially. So yeah, it's the Tritium plus plus one was the most recent release, and then I'm working on additional features on top of that, like the relay. Basically, it's actually like an RTR, which is a list terminology for like peer-to-peer messaging, quantum resistant peer-to-peer messaging, which just allows you to securely transmit data through peer-to-peer without having to rely on any central authority. And then a remote login system is another big feature that's been requested where you can use your phone and mobile wallet as kind of an authenticator app. So when you go on a website, it's a dApp per se, and you want to say, okay, I want to log in, and they want to use Nexus. then you can say, just like log in with Google, you link your SIG chain to that web app. And then what happens is your phone is the one that's actually creating the transactions. So it helps with scaling, and it also acts as a decentralized authentication system. And it also can act as a password manager, because you can create all these different profiles that are managed under your master credentials.
Yep.
And, that's a huge feature I see actually is happening, especially as more people want to just, hey, we don't want to develop an authentication system. We can choose Nexuses, which log in with Nexus, next to log in with Google and log in with Facebook, but is a decentralized identity where nobody manages your data or controls it or tracks you or anything like that. So